In this story problem, we are dealing with mechanical advantage, an input force, and an output force due to a machine. Find the force required to lift a box with 500 newtons of force with a machine that has a mechanical advantage of 4. All right. First step, we find our variables. Find the force. So we're looking for a force required to lift a box. So we're looking for the force that is required to lift this. That would be an input force. With 500 newtons of force, because we're trying to lift this box with 500, we got to find what we have to lift, or we have to use, before the machine turns it into 500 newtons. So find the force required to lift a box with 500 newtons. That would be our force out. With a machine that has a mechanical advantage of 4. So we're using a machine that gives us an advantage of 4. We want it to lift a box with 500 newtons. So the question is, how much force is needed to input into this machine? Okay. Step 2, our equation. The equation relates mechanical advantage, force in and force out, is mechanical advantage equals force out divided by our force in. Our output force and our input force. Because we need force in, we need to do the triangle trick. Force out is up top. Force in on bottom. Our mechanical advantage is our leftover corner. We're looking for force in, we cover force in. That becomes force out, all divided by mechanical advantage. So force in equals force out divided by mechanical advantage. Step 3, plug and chug. Our force in put equals our force out, which is 500 newtons, divided by our mechanical advantage of 4. And that equals a force input of 125 newtons. So let's recap again. Find the force required to lift a box of 500 newtons. We're lifting it with 500, so we need to find that input force that the machine is going to need, whether it be a ramp, a pulley, whatever. With a machine that has a mechanical advantage of 4. Doing the math, we come out to being 125 newtons. And sometimes you just have to look at that as a conceptual kind of model. We got to lift 500. The machine times our force by 4 times. So what times 4 gives us 500? 125.